Tea, Earl Grey, hot. And a fucking pot plant, like a spiky cactus with a flower, comes out. Didn't you order tea, sir? Says Wesley.
It's like the voice activation module is obviously broken.
A glass of water, 10 degrees Celsius. That's what they have to say. Because otherwise the computer goes, please specify what temperature you want the water to be.
Hello, and welcome to TTT.
YoGPoD.
And there you go, that's the intro song for the YoGPoD.
No one ever says that. Who says that after a show?
After the intro.
And that was the credits and the theme music to our program. And now this is the real program. Hello. Who says that? No
We're
one
saying
says
it.
that, do
We're
they?
saying it. We have to get used to it.
Hello.
Hi.
So what now, smartass?
Hello, Honeydew. So we had a letter from a fan of the YoGPod. Dear Honeydew, I'm a great fan. We spoke in game, but you wouldn't talk to me on Skype when I asked. I'm really looking forward to the next blah 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 blah. By the way, your fan-made remixed tune came into my head during my GCSE history exam, and it's currently playing through my speakers. Love you. Keep up the good work. That's from John Donny 1, right? Anyway, I was just thinking, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Can you imagine people listening to the YoGPod when they're trying to do their exam or something? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
This is what's wrong with the young people of today. They're busy listening to YoGPods instead of studying.
Did you do history in school? Or any... What did you do?
I did history instead of geography at GCSE.
I did geography. Oh, man, it was pretty bad. I guess it's still pretty much the same as it is now, though, both of them. I pretty much just stood on the corner outside Sainsbury's and, like, counted cars as they went by and then, like, wrote it down. I'd ask people questionnaires.
What was that for? History or geography?
That was for
Counting
geography.
cars?
I didn't do history.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. And, you
For
know,
geography?
like traffic patterns and stuff.
What's that
Oh,
got
it
to
was
do with
total
geography?
bollocks. Well, that's geography's not what you think it is. It's not like, you know, this is the location of this place in the world. It's like how many people live in the slums of Brazil and doing like a project on them and stuff. It's trivial.
See, I mean, what if you were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? We're going into the slumdog territory here. But what if you were on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and they ask you the question, you know, what is the capital of Peru or something? And you don't know because
Lima.
instead of studying place names, okay, you do know, but instead of studying place names in geography GCSE, you were counting cars outside fucking Sainsbury's.
I know, and you had to ask people
what is
questionnaires
that all
and stuff as
about?
well, like, you know, did you enjoy your shopping in Sainsbury's? Will you come here again? Why do you
fuck
come
me.
here? And you had to like stop these people as they were like, do you mind? Can I ask you a questionnaire? And you had to like collect 100 of them so you could have like percentages, you know.
What is that got to... If a kid asked me that, I would say, oh, what's this? No, actually, I'd walk past him. Being honest here. I'd walk straight past him
You wouldn't
without looking at
You'd
him.
be that rude. You'd just probably go, no thanks, mate. It's like, what do you do when you're in the street and like a tramp asks you for like, you spare a fair bit of change, mate?
Thing is, today, when I went up the street, it was right at midday. And at midday, during the week, we have the Plymouth Brethren, which are like a sect of Christianity. They have a couple of people
Like a
who
cult.
start... Yeah, basically. Sect, cult. Same thing. They stand at like the corner opposite the cross in our town square, and they just shout from the Bible. And I had to walk past them to to get to the shop, and I was walking along, and
What
there
were
was
you
a
buying?
woman.
By the way?
What was I buying? I bought I have a little bit of cake here. Little bit of cake. I'll try not to break the mic this time. Now that was some Adam and Joe, that one. Check out our videos on YouTube. Blue Xephos. Yeah, very nice cake. So I bought that. I went into the newsagents, didn't buy anything in there, and from the notice boards to the co-op, I passed the corner on the square where these two oldish men were just shouting from the Bible. And I was walking alongside a woman. She disappeared into a shop so that she didn't walk past them. And I gave her a look, and she gave me a look, and she like harumphed. She like harumphed. She went a bit like that.
She like roll her eyes.
Yeah, rolled her eyes, went.
Sort of an exasperated.
Yeah, she disappeared off into the shop, but I kept walking. I'm not sure if we can actually. Should we? Is it wise to give specific information about where I live
To reveal.
to fucking weirdos on the internet?
Especially if they know your daily route
don't know.
up to the co-op and the people on the corner, and they'll just stand there, like.
And shout from the Bible at me. It can't be any worse, though, can it? It cannot be any worse than it already is.
It's so blatantly. There's gonna be like next time you walk up to the co-op, there's gonna be a guy like standing in the road wearing an "I love the Yogscast" t-shirt, and you're just gonna walk past
We
him.
don't make t-shirts. Where did he get a fucking t-shirt?
He'll make his
from?
own. There's some real true fans out there, man.
Oh god.
He'll just get a black marker pen and like write on a t-shirt, like an old Metallica t-shirt or something.
And he'll misspell YoGPoD. Oh dear. So I had to keep walking past these two weird men, and I made the mistake of making eye contact, and I said something along the lines with, all right, you know,
Yeah.
all right.
Like you do.
Kept walking,
Yeah.
and he moved to the side of me, and he proffered a little tiny leaflet, it was the smallest leaflet I've ever seen in my life, and he held it up in his hand, and I looked at him in the face, and I said, Richard Dawkins, deal with it, motherfucker, and I headbutted him between his eyes, and he fell to the floor, and blood just started squirting out of every orifice of his body, and he was like convulsing on the pavement, and then he literally exploded, and there was nothing left of him except a few limp organs with
What
worms
actually
in.
happened was he had you a leaflet. You took it. You said thanks, and then you
No,
put
I
it in your
didn't.
pocket
I didn't
and
take the
walked on.
leaflet. I did not take it. I didn't take it. Didn't. I said no when he said, "Would you like to take a leaflet?" No.
I have the same sort of. I mean, it's that kind of weird etiquette, though. You know, when you're walking along and you see someone walking towards you, and then as they go past, you know, you either say, like, "Good afternoon," or they say that to you.
Good afternoon.
You know,
Good morrow, my sir. Yeah, I mean, there's quite a difference between going, you know, all right, and nodding slightly, or it's not even a nod; it's half a nod. You like lift your head up slightly and raise your eyebrows.
yeah,
Right.
and it obviously doesn't happen on like busy streets. You know, when you're like pushing through hundreds of people,
No.
or if you're in town, or if there's lots of people around. It only happens when you like are almost the only person, and they're the only person. You've noticed each other approaching.
Your eyes meet across the
along this
crowded
path.
street.
Did I tell you like that sort of thing happened when I saw Prince Charles once. I think it was when we were like visiting some sort of gardens.
You know what we should have? We should have a little jingle for when you tell an anecdote. Like a woo woo woo. Lewis is telling an anecdote. Woo woo. Shitty story incoming. Woo.
And he like nodded. He just nodded at my dad and went like, "Good morning."
Prince Charles nodded at you. That's your story.
My dad, not at me.
It didn't even happen to you.
My dad like nodded back. and said good morning.
Amazing.
I was there. He just chose to nod at my dad.
So
Obviously, 'cause he was like, I
you were
was three.
snubbed.
This was
You
like
were
5 years
snubbed
ago.
by Prince Charles. He didn't even recognise your presence.
I think he acknowledged my dad as a man of equal age.
Yes, yes, yes. One also has to get up at 3:30 in the morning for a piss.
Yeah, nice. That's what happens when you're old, man. When you're old man.
So maybe that's something that our listeners could work on. A jingle for when Lewis tells one of his terrible anecdotes. I mean, essentially, that story that you told boils down to, I saw Prince Charles, he nodded at my father, but not at me. That's it. That's your story.
Yeah, yeah, but in that kind of countryside way, you know, of just for some weird respect for no reason, you know, just.
Do you ever worry that you're a ghost, like Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense?
What?
And maybe that was the first clue. That time that you saw Prince Charles and he didn't acknowledge that you were there.
Right, here you go. Here's another letter. I don't know. I'm just kind of going back to letters from the listeners if we can't find a conversation topic, and hopefully it'll spark off an interesting conversation. Dear Xephos and Honeydew, you probably won't believe me, but today when I was walking home from school, I walked past this guy who just recently moved to our school. I think he's from England. I felt sorry for him because it would be quite scary moving schools. So as a sort of icebreaker, I yelled at him, "I am David."
What the
And although he didn't yell it back, he cracked up laughing and told me he knew what I meant.
What?
I asked him why he didn't yell it back to me, and he said he was too embarrassed after seeing how stupid I looked. We are now good friends after one day.
What kind of a story is that? What is that?
Now, this is the letter from someone called Cora, and it's so filled with spelling mistakes that it must be real. But I don't understand. For a start, it's not "I am David,"
No,
right?
I'm David.
That's not it at all. I am David.
And the guy knew what I meant.
Yeah, yeah.
Did he?
Did he?
How?
No, he clearly didn't.
So, I mean, was that guy's name David? Or is he now having to pretend to his new friend that he's actually called David, otherwise he'll appear like a nutter?
He must, yeah, exactly. He must think that this guy is called David, and that's why he's friends, because he knows his name.
It's a heartwarming tale, that's for sure.
Obviously, we want to hear from listeners if stuff like this happens, and you know.
What the hell? I mean, what the hell? I'm David. Just like that. Now, how many letters a week would you say that we receive?
It depends. I get quite a lot of spam,
Amazing.
you know. But the direct messages to me from YouTube users is probably 3 or 4 a day. Most of them are a bit weird. But obviously, I read every single message from everyone who listens to the YoGPoD and watches the Ozcast. I read every comment. So, if I've chatted to like people in game, I want to say, you know, thanks.
You're like Jesus.
So, yeah, please send us audio snippets, weird remixes, anything else you want us to play, and we'll probably consider doing it.
Yes, please. Oh god, that would be so awesome. Please send us anything that you create for the YoGPoD. We would love to hear anything that you have. Just anything at all. Oh, it'd be so good. Oh, it'd be amazing.
So shortly we're going to be playing this operatic, orchestral remix of the Yogscast theme that the guy that made the intro, Captain Rhythm, has done, created.
It's terrifying.
While you're listening to this, I suggest you close your eyes, walk over to the window, and just breathe in a bit of fresh air and imagine an overweight man with a big ginger neck beard holding a lightsaber in one hand and a packet of Jaffa cakes in the other hand, fighting some sort of Jedi dramatically
Jaffa cakes
across some sort of chasm with fire flickering at the bottom of it.
I love strawberry Jaffa cakes. Man, I wanted to talk about you realizing that you're dead and that you were a ghost all along.
So I'm dead,
Yes,
am I?
but you haven't quite realized it. The clues were there. It all started when you were a young boy and Prince Charles nodded at your father, but didn't acknowledge your presence.
Thing is, though, how does it work if you're... I haven't seen The Sixth Sense for a while, but how could I be talking to you? Would it be in my mind?
I'm dead too.
Oh, right. And you're haunting the attic of your house.
Yes. Ooh.
And occasionally...
Occasionally wandering downstairs to the refrigerator.
yeah. And you know, the inhabitants of the house, whoever they are, just find like packs of butter have gone missing.
Packs of butter?
Yeah, I know what you eat.
You imagine that my fridge is just filled with packs of butter, and I just wander downstairs for a snack.
No one misses
Just help myself
a
to
pack
butter.
of butter.
Why would... I mean, is that something that ghosts eat? That I haven't realised? Ghosts eat
No, but it's
packs
like
of
spoons,
butter?
isn't it? No one, you always seem
Spoons?
to run
What?
out of spoons. Spoons always go missing. They're one of the things
Packs
that
of
ghosts
butter
take.
are like spoons.
Yeah, it's the food's equivalent of spoons for ghosts. Do you not know about this?
You've opened my eyes.
Teaspoons. You gradually just lose them. They just disappear. I think what it is people accidentally throw them in the bin because they're so small and don't realise that they're gradually throwing the spoons out. I reckon if you went to like a landfill, you'd be able to find a lot more spoons than any other pieces of cutlery.
How are they being thrown out? Are people like straining out the tea bag or whatever, and they just throw the tea bag and the spoon in the bin by mistake?
Yeah, it's like, you know when you're doing your washing, sometimes you accidentally open up the dishwasher and then you go, oh no, hang on, that's the wrong one, and then you put your washing in the washing machine. But
no, they're in different rooms, so I don't do that.
no. What about
Do you put your clothes in the dishwasher?
what about, have you ever like
Is that what you do?
have you what okay Imagine same, but people must have done this. Like absent-mindedly, you're doing your washing or whatever, and you open up the bin by accident or something, and you almost throw like your trousers in the bin.
What?
Yeah.
First it's spoons, and now you're throwing your trousers in the bin. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm just using it as an
You wash your
example. I'm just
trousers
saying
in the
that people
dishwasher,
might
and then you throw them
accidentally
in the bin.
think, oh yeah, I'll throw this in the dishwasher, and then you throw it in the bin by accident and just don't realise. Do you reckon that can happen? I reckon that can happen. Also, I think when
How
you're
are you
like
doing this?
when you're like clearing out like a load of plates and stuff, and you're like getting ready to put them in the dishwasher, and you're like scraping off all the food and like biscuit crumbs and stuff off into the bin, right? It's very easy to accidentally drop
The
a spoon in.
biscuit crumbs. The biscuit crumbs that your plates are just completely covered with.
When you eat a biscuit,
Because you
do
eat
you not
biscuits
use
off
a
of
plate?
plates.
Seriously, I do.
Of course I fucking don't. Who uses a fucking plate to eat biscuits off of? You just eat them out of the packet or whatever.
Out of
You
the
don't use a
packet? Well, you eat the
plate.
whole packet. Don't you have a biscuit tin? I put the packet of biscuits
No, you can
into the biscuit tin.
you can
And
scrunch.
then when I want a
You can
biscuit,
twist
which is
the
usually with a
you can
cup of
twist them
tea,
closed.
I take a biscuit from the tin, put it onto a plate, and then
Oh my
carry it with my cup of
You
tea.
put a solitary biscuit in the middle of a dinner plate, and then you
Not
carry
a dinner
it to your
plate,
room.
like a small plate.
Do you eat it with a knife and
Like
fork
a
as
dessert
well?
plate.
Do you eat biscuits with a knife and fork? Answer me.
Do you reckon that posh families in Japan
You
and
put a
China eat
napkin
biscuits
on.
with chopsticks?
No! No, they don't! What a terrible racist thing to say! My God.
Why is that racist?
Do you think Asian people eat biscuits with chopsticks?
Posh Asian people.
I mean, what the hell? Like the Queen of Asia, whoever
I
that
like the
is.
fact that you just eat them out of the packet and then twist it closed because, by the time you go into that
Yeah.
packet again, they're not going to be like soft or anything. These biscuits aren't hanging around for a long time in your house.
No. Why are they going to be soft? They're kept. They've managed to be nice in the packet for like months.
Sealed in a nitrogen
until
environment.
They've reached me. Yeah, but you just twist it closed,
Actually,
and you. I mean, sometimes you can balance them on the ending that you've twisted closed, so they don't
the thing is,
accidentally unravel.
certain biscuits get I think most biscuits get soft, like ginger nuts, right? If you leave ginger nuts out, they go a bit soft, and they're kind of a bit like weird. They're supposed to be crunchy, whereas certain biscuits like Jaffa cakes go hard.
Well, yeah, because they're a cake, not a biscuit.
No. They are a biscuit. Technically, they're a biscuit.
No.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Are they not?
No, they're
Was
not.
this not a legal battle to
That's the whole
determine
point. Yeah.
whether or not Jaffa
And
cakes were
because they're
cakes or
cakes,
biscuits?
they won the battle.
Are they actually
Because
cakes?
they baked an enormous one. If you bake an enormous one, it's a giant
Oh, we've
cake.
had this conversation. They baked an enormous Jaffa cake.
It was on QI. You've watched the episode of QI in which this is discussed.
When was this?
We've previously talked about it, and still you always get it wrong.
Has it been on the YoGPoD? Because if it hasn't been on the YoGPod, I've probably forgotten
Oh,
it.
fuck me. If we've already talked about this, and it's on a YoGPod, and you're really... Oh my god.
Using old material. Nice. So, we were supposed to be talking about what it would be like to be dead. And we've now got back onto the giant Jaffa cake.
Talking about Jaffa cakes.
The giant
Talking
Jaffa
about
cake.
Jaffa cakes.
Do you reckon?
How does that... What kind of a segue
There was
is that?
there was a recent thing in the news where Pringles were determined to be
Crisps. Because they are crisps.
Was it something like that? But they're all the same. They're all generically the same.
They wanted to say that they're not crisps. They're actually cakes.
So they made a giant Pringle. A giant,
Yes, that's
huge
correct.
Pringle the size of a hot air balloon.
And they cut it with a cake knife, and of course it just fell apart.
And that proved
And
that it was actually
it.
a biscuit.
it was thrown out of court.
So what is it? Is it a biscuit?
I mean, the whole
What is
point
it?
of this.
Crisp. Crisp.
Look, Pringles are crisps because they're crisps, and Jaffa Cakes are cakes because they're cakes.
Well,
It's not difficult.
how is there some? I mean, the thing that I find annoying about this is that there is actually some law that governs tax on biscuits and cakes separately in England. So if it's like a biscuit, they have to pay
Yeah.
more tax or less tax than if it's a cake. It's probably put in force by that woman who said let them eat cake, but in fact she never said let them eat cake, did she?
Yeah. Brioche, which is bread with butter in.
Yeah, which is like sweet bread.
Marie Antoinette.
Was that during the French Revolution then?
Yes. Well, might have been shortly before. I didn't think she lasted very long.
Did you do
during
it
the
in
revolution.
history? Yeah, I think she did get her head chopped off fairly
All we
promptly.
did in history was the First World War, and that was it. And immediately afterwards, like Versailles, that was all we did.
Well, at least you weren't fucking standing outside Sainsbury's.
What have you learned from that? From doing that? From counting cars? What did you come out
I
of that
think what I learned
with?
was that, like, there's so much bullshit. You know? There's just too much bullshit. I don't know how a TV works, right? But I can integrate
Well, you wouldn't learn that in geography,
numbers,
would you?
you know, like in maths, and I can differentiate and all this. And in geography, you know, I know, you know, the inner districts of Sao Paulo in Brazil, where the slum areas are, and you know what proportion of people are, you know, out of work. But I don't know whether,
What an oxbow lake is.
well, I know, yeah, what an oxford, but I don't know, you know, whether the tree that's growing in my garden is an oak or a cedar, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you learned where babies come from, but you can't recognise what trees are. The useless shit that you're taught
Well,
in
what I
school.
was thinking was the other day was that I go jogging around the local sort of area of these fields and stuff where I live
Sorry, what?
occasionally, and
You go what?
jogging,
You go jogging.
yeah,
Jogging.
yeah. I usually listen to like an
You
audio
jog.
book. Have you heard of this word?
Or
Some form
a
of like
YoGPoD.
physical exercise that you're probably not familiar with.
What?
Did you ever do this at school? Actually, that's a good question. Did you ever actually? No, we'll save that one. We'll save that because that's going to be gold. The conversation we have about doing
Oh
cross
my...
country.
I don't want to know.
Um,
Oh, God. Oh, the tales I have to tell about that.
yeah. So I was
Oh,
thinking,
Christ
let's
on a
before we
bike.
go off on a tangent again here. Um, try and hold one topic in mind for like more than 5 seconds. So in the fields around where I live, right, there's various crops growing. Okay, and I couldn't. I'm not sure what they are. I'm pretty sure one of them's corn and one of them's wheat. But and they're almost fully grown now. I guess the harvest will be happening in about 3 or 4 weeks. You know, but I'm not quite sure what they are, and that is kind of bad, isn't it?
I guess so. I mean, you don't need to know, do you, though?
I don't know actually. I mean, I was thinking recently that it would be really, really nice to have some manual skills like plastering, being able to mix concrete and build stuff properly. Just have these practical things like I know people used to learn woodwork and stuff, and I did do some woodwork. I had the option. I was thinking of DIY for some reason. I had the option to sort of do, you know, woodworking or electronics, and I actually did like electronics instead, which meant I just built a circuit board, which was kind of quite interesting, but again, utterly useless to me because I've never used it. What I'm trying to say is that it would be nice to be able to go to like a timber yard, buy a piece of wood, cut it up,
I'd like a wood,
sand
please.
it off, polish it up, you know, and have the know-how to then drill a few holes in the wall and mount it on the wall and do it properly, not like a scrubby job that most people do. My doorbell's ringing. Hang on.
So what are you doing with...
Did you hear that?
Oh, God. Wouldn't it be chaotic, though, if everybody could do everything? If everyone was like Joe 90.
Who's Joe 90?
Oh, God. It was like a Jerry Anderson puppet program. Like Thunderbirds and Stingrays
Right.
and such. and it was about a little kid, a little blonde kid, and he went into this machine. It span around a bit, and it gave him the knowledge of, of anything. So say some people are up in space and their air's running out and they're trapped or whatever. He could have the knowledge of, a rocket scientist and an astronaut and just anything, an engineer, all of that in his head, and then they launch him off into space and he saves the world.
Is it like the Matrix where you can just like program in like
Yes.
combat skills or whatever? If you could have like stuff programmed in to your brain, what would you have?
Every single language in the world.
Why would you waste time with that? I mean, imagine you only had a limited amount of space. I wouldn't bother with the languages.
If you were a superhero, you'd have the ability to paint houses and build up shelves.
Do the plastering, like clear the gutters out.
Wow. DIY man.
DIY man. That sounds awesome.
I think if it came down to it and we had to save like a bus full of nuns that was on fire hanging off the side of a cliff, neither of us would be very helpful, would we? I have the ability to speak multiple languages, and you have the ability to do DIY. It's not the greatest crime-fighting duo.
What do you mean, man? This would be like a credible team. We'd be amazing. Right, what would happen was, I'd tell you the scene. Obviously, this bus full of nuns that's on fire is full of like nuns are always multi-faith. There's probably like a couple of Africans in there, a couple of Indians. They're all sort of panicking. What you do is you speak to them all in their native languages, calm them all down, right? And obviously order them to like stand in a good place. And then I like rig up some sort of special contraption and like
You're like MacGyver.
nail the bus to the cliff safely. So
you nail the bus to the cliff.
Yeah. And then it's like, then they can just get off. They don't need to panic. It's safe, I'm guessing the bus is sort of tipping unsteadily over the cliff.
Yeah.
But either one of us, we don't need to be together. Either one of us could have solved this problem with our powers.
You're listening to the YoGPoD. Other podcasts are like the sponge of a Jaffa cake, but the YoGPoD is the nice middle jammy bit, which is delicious and fruity. Orange typically, but strawberry with the new strawberry Jaffa cakes, which are available to buy at all good supermarkets. We should so totally try and get sponsorship from Jaffa cakes. Could you imagine that? Like a lifetime supply of Jaffa cakes. I wonder if Tina Barrett likes Jaffa cakes. It'd break my heart if she didn't like them. Really would.
This book thing called Autonomy, have you heard of it, Honeydew? It's like kind of HarperCollins' new slush pile shit where people post their novels online, and it's a bit like Dig, where other retards rate them up, and
oh God, it sounds
and then
terrible.
the top 5 get looked at by HarperCollins, basically. The story at the top, currently at number 1, is a book called Fibonacci's Child. Okay, this is the plot. A teenage pregnant virgin reveals Elizabeth as an active hermaphrodite. She self-fertilizes herself every year, producing a new set of twins every 12 months. In the USA's illegal adoption market, healthy Caucasian babies are worth $100,000 each. Elizabeth is kept prisoner and exploited. During her lifetime, she gives birth to countless sets of twins, including ones called Joanna and Jessica. These are also the same as her,
Little
right?
Hermaphrodites that can self-fertilize. What the fuck is this?
This is the story.
So the idea is it works like the Fibonacci sequence,
Yeah.
with the amount of these weird people out there. It's a geometric...
What it's supposed to be is that this woman finds out that what she is, and she finds out that all of the other twins that this woman has given birth to will be the same. So it's just gonna everything's gonna get out of hand. Jo's not very good at maths. She just knows that the Fibonacci sequence is a number set that will eventually become unmanageable. That's the
number one.
tagline.
That's number one on their website.
Yeah. Do you know what this book's about? It's about a secret society who are descended from a lost civilization. The only way you can identify them is because they share a specific gene mutation. The gene that gives you ginger hair.
What? What?
So every ginger is descended from this secret lost civilization, apparently.
I knew it.
Betty Brown is oblivious to the Keepers of Light when she dyes her hair ginger and moves to the rural mountains of North Idaho in search for her missing uncle. That is, until the society mistakes her for a missing member and fulfillment of an ancient prophecy. She wants to come clean that she's not a real ginger, but fears the consequences of knowing too much. How is that number 5?
Christ, oh bike.
That's the next film that Hannah will be raved about. Should we buy the audiobook?
No.
Dyed her hair red.
Yeah,
It
you'll
already
be
is
fucking
again.
dyeing your hair red, waiting in the fucking queue around the block.
The Autobiography of Smoking Joe Bidlow by Rocky Lastinger. An aging rock
That's
star
not his real name.
sets out to mimic his wife's suicide on the 20th anniversary of her suicide, unaware that she'd actually been murdered. She reappears as a ghost, determined to save him. There we are. Wow. This was quite a good sounding one. It's called Nick of Time by Tom Williams and Justin
Let me guess, the main
Stanchfield.
character is called Nick.
Yep.
Oh, I see what they've done there. See, the title is a pun. And it's
So
got
what
the
do
main
you think
character's
happens?
name in it.
What do you think happens?
I think he's a time traveller, isn't he?
There
Is
you
he a
go.
time traveller?
Correct.
Oh, holy
So what do
fucking
you-
shit.
How old do you think Nick of Time is?
I think he's about the same age as Harry Potter. He probably
Yes.
looks like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And he probably talks
Yeah.
like Harry Potter as well.
He's 14.
Are they all stupid high concept bollocks? Are there any stories just about like a dude going through his life and having bad things happen to him that aren't incredibly unrealistic?
The Jazz Cage. A Virginia liquor tycoon hires a bounty hunter to find 2 runaway slaves in 1920s America when the Confederacy had won the Civil War instead of the Union.
The Jazz
Dun, dun, dun.
Cage. Jeremy versus the Space by Dave Fuckface. Jeremy Alberts was an ordinary man in his 30s who worked for an accounting consultancy firm near Norwich. But little did he know that he was descended from a line of elders who were there to protect the universe. And Dave Fuckface, no, not Dave Fuckface, he's the author. Jeremy Alberts has to save the day. He has to save Norwich by killing off all the evil space that are invading.
Could you just read the title again?
The Adventures of Jeremy versus the Space by Dave Fuckface.
Man.
Hello everybody, you're listening to the YoGPoD. Hi, you alright?
Ooh. People were always saying, what would happen if you shot Superman in the eye? And then there was, in the Superman movie, there was that thing where a bullet like bounced off of his eye. Did you see that? Do you remember that?
No, that sounds ridiculous.
That was in the movie, wasn't it? In the new Superman, latest Superman film.
The fuck?
He got shot
The
in the
bullet
eye, and the bullet
bounces
just like
off.
Yeah,
crumpled
it
on
was.
his eye,
Fuck.
on his raw eyeball.
His eyes are made from diamonds. Superman's my hero.
How ridiculous is that, though? Really?
What?
That Superman's Yoey's hero.
No.
Yoey
Superman
tries
has
to live up to such a high ideal.
No, but as a kid, Superman, Spider-Man, the Hulk, all that shit is so fucking awesome. Just love
Who
it.
is your favourite superhero, Yoey?
Mac Jack the Pirate.
What?
Mac Jack the Pirate.
Mac Jack the Pirate. Is this a Dutch-only superhero? And
No,
was
it's
he really a
fucking
superhero,
English.
or was he just a pirate?
Check YouTube, it's fucking English.
Mac Jack the Pirate. I've never heard of it, Yoey. I don't want to check YouTube. Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
It's about a pirate saving people, but it's a captain. So he has superpowers, and he can like kill people with his wooden arm.
It's got a wooden
Shit
arm.
thing. Yeah.
Are you making this up, Yoey? Are you making this up?
Just check YouTube for Mac
Was
Jack
it
the
Captain
Pirate.
Pugwash? Is that what you're thinking of?
Talking about no. Mac Jack the Pirate.
I can't
Anyone
find
here on
anything
YouTube?
about this. I think you're making it up.
It doesn't seem to exist. It just doesn't
Oh.
exist anywhere.
It was a dream you
How
had.
do you spell it? How do you spell it?
Hang on.
Google is turning up nothing.
Used to be like a really hilarious comic in English on a Dutch television.
So, you're here. If you could be any superhero, Joey, you would be a non-existent pirate called Mac Jack, who presumably
With
his
a
only
wooden
superpower is that he has a wooden arm.